In this video I'm going to talk about polygons, and polygons are basically any shape that have straight sides. So anything that has straight sides is a polygon. So we have the basic example, the very first one would be a triangle. Tri means three, so a triangle is any shape that has three sides. So here we've got 1, 2, 3. Now with a triangle, the interior angles, what I mean by interior angles, interior are the angles which are inside of the triangle, so these three here. In a triangle, they always add up to 180 degrees. That's really important to know, because we can use that to find out the interior angles of different shapes, different polygons. So for example, for a square, we have 4 interior angles, these angles here. And what we can do is we can actually make a diagonal from one point, so from this point through to the other point. And then what we can have, we see we have one triangle right here, so this is one triangle right there. And on the other side of the diagonal we have another triangle, so we have 2 triangles. So that means, so this is one triangle and this is one triangle. We can do 2 times 180, because each triangle has 180 degrees. So if we have 2 triangles times 180, that means the interior angles of a square add up to 360 degrees. And that makes sense because a square has 4 rectangles, so that would be 4 times 90, which would be 360. So that's how we can find interior angles of a square, but we can use that for any shape, any polygon. So this would be something called an octagon. It's 8 sides. So all we do is we find one side, let's take this side, and then we connect the diagonals to all the other sides that we can connect it to. So I'm doing right here, I'm just connecting to, trying to make straight lines to the other sides. And now we can find out how many actual triangles we have. So I'm going to call them in green. This is one triangle right here, another one here, another one here, another one here, another one here, and another one here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. So now all we have to do now is we have to have 6 triangles times 180. And that would be the total amount of degrees. So 6 times 180 would be 1080 degrees. And so that means for octagon, all the interior angles add up to 1080 degrees. And that's one way of doing it, but an easier way of doing it is using this formula. So n minus 2 times 180 degrees is the sum of interior angles. That means if we use this formula, we can find the total amount of all the angles within the shape. So n in this case is the number of sides. So n stands for number of sides. And we can look at the first one, which would be a pentagon. Pentagon, pent means 5, so that means a pentagon has 5 sides. So if we use the formula, what we would do is we have n is 5 minus 2, so that would be 3 times 180, because that's how much one triangle would be. And then we get the actual interior angle, so it would be 540. So 5 minus 2 is 3 times 180, that overall that would be 540. So the interior angle of a pentagon would be 540 degrees. And now we can use that same formula for a heptagon. And then hept means 7, so all we do is we have, instead of n we put in 7. 7 minus 2 would be 5 times 180. And then we would get our interior angles. So in this case that would be 5 times 180 would be 900. So in this case, a heptagon, its interior angles add up to 900 degrees. It's basically just a quicker way of doing it. So instead of going through and drawing all the diagonals, we can just use that formula. We basically achieve the same thing. We find the interior angles of the shapes.